What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? Please continue to tune in throughout the week. So Monday, Tuesday are topics, Wednesday's discussion, then Fridays everything else. So movies, books, games, all that good stuff. Tune in to yesterday if you missed it, where we talk about AT&T and how they're seeking to shed their cybersecurity division or company, or however you want to, whatever you want to call it, as they continue to reduce their debt and get rid of the things I love. So definitely tune in for that one in our discussion. Without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. This one is actually from securityweek.com. And the title of this one is Ransomware Attack Forces Produce Giant Dole to Shut Down Plants. And it's written by Edward Kovacs. So as we are wont to report every week, right? So another ransomware attack, right? So produce giant Dole was forced to shut down plants because of a ransomware attack. And it hits the grocery stores, right? So Ryan and I were talking about this offline, right? Like, you think Dole, you think pineapples, right? So the way this actually came about a little bit is bagged salads. So Dole makes bagged salads. Who knew, right? I only know the pineapple side of the house for Dole. I imagine they have a lot more, but that's all I know. So, but yeah, it end up happening. They posted on their website on Wednesday. So this was the 22nd. Dole said it was dealing with a cybersecurity incident involving ransomware. They contacted law enforcement and external cybersecurity experts to help them address the attack, right? So I didn't know this. Apparently, Dole is Ireland-based. So I didn't know they were based out of Ireland. That was news to me when I read that. But they said that their operations are limited. But they say it has caused problems for some stores, but they still stand by, that there is no real information let go with the employees or anything like that, right? So like I said before, it caused a shortage in prepackaged salads, not pineapples, right? That's how it came about. But it says on February 17th, the company made public a memo received from Dole or the company that was dealing with Dole. The vendor explained that it was forced to shut down plants for the day and put all shipments on hold. So the store that was dealing with them mentioned that this came out on the 17th, that they mentioned that the plant's shutting down, but the release from Dole came out 5 days later. So their release was released, let me see here, February 22nd. And it says, announced the company recently experienced a cybersecurity incident. It's been identified as ransomware. And then they go through the whole rigmarole of, we move quickly to contain the threat, engage leading third-party cybersecurity experts, blah, 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 notified law enforcement. So I'm like, why the 5-day difference, right? Like, the only reason it probably came out was because, these stores that have deals with you, right, that receive services from you, came out beforehand and said, hey, we have an issue. This is why we can't provide to you what we need to provide to you, right? So it's not exactly a small company either, right? So according to Wikipedia, Dole has 38,000 employees and 250 processing plants, right? And they supply products to 75 countries. So this could have a real impact, across the world, really, right? When it comes to you getting your pineapples. No, I'm joking. your prepackaged salads, you know what I mean? But yeah, but I imagine it's not just a prepackaged salad. That's probably just a precursor to what was going on, right? So it wouldn't just strike just one thing that they have. It would be across the board for a lot of the stuff that they deal with. But yeah, so this ransomware, man, every week, right? This is what happens now. To tie it into something different, like if AT&T, if they keep their alien vault business, you know what I mean? Like, maybe they can help these guys out some, you know what I mean? Dole might be reaching out to them, you know what I mean? But they're trying to sell it off anyway. But Ryan, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I was also surprised how big Dole was. Like, you see their branding everywhere, but you never put the two together, right? Like, how big are they? In the article, they say they are a produce giant. So you put some respect on Dole's name, all right? Almost 40,000 employees, like you said, 250 processing plants. So it's a very large company. So again, now we're seeing supply chain issues, right? Like, they had to shut down for a day, and then there's the ripple effect. There's second and third order effects that take place down the line. In this case, they say bag salads, but I mean, for all I know, I could have walked in the store to go buy some pineapples for like a cake, or something like that. Pineapple upside down cake. One of my favorites. And then they're not there. And I'm like, why are there no pineapples? Like, is there a pineapple shortage? Like, what's happening? Um, so it's the little things you don't notice based upon all of these smaller attacks and things of that nature that are taking place. So again, they don't allude to anything that was stolen in this situation. They didn't say negotiations failed. They even had it says Security Week has checked the websites of several major ransomware groups and has not found any mention of Dole. And this is typical. Like usually when things don't work out or they want to brag or boast about their latest theft or heist in this case, they will put their name out there. It says, however, hackers typically name and shame victims on dedicated websites after initial negotiations fail. So we don't know exactly how far this ransomware took place. Like maybe it was just isolated to a few systems. Maybe they saw an anomaly of some sort and they decided to shut down because of, hey, this just doesn't look right. But either way, we've seen that this dystopic future we talk about with ransomware does have implications. Even the smaller produce that we purchase from stores can be disrupted by just one day of shutdown, right? One day, 40,000 people potentially were unable to work in these factories, which costs money. So even if they don't pay the ransomers, they've lost money for the day. Like maybe some products went bad, some transactions had to be refunded, things of that nature. So this costs money. So it's a shame to see. Like I'm glad they didn't make it to the point where we were finding out that Dole had to pay several $1,000,000 in Bitcoin to get their files decrypted, if ever, right? Because you can't guarantee this actually happens. However, we're still seeing the long-term effects. So perhaps their business continuity plan was set up this way, where it's like, okay, like if so many systems are compromised and we can't figure out or unable to attribute this to a certain entity, we have to shut down, do some housekeeping, clean up. So perhaps everything worked out the way it's supposed to, and they were able to save money by not, being shut down for a week or longer to make this happen. But either way, it costs money. So the investment was made to hopefully stop whatever took place, but then they also had to stop production, which is never good.
So here's my thing though, right? So it's an Ireland-based company, right?
Yeah.
Ireland is a part of the UK, right?
Um,
Because
yes.
you got
Yeah,
Great
they're not
Britain,
part of the EU,
Ireland.
right? Isn't that the way it
But
worked out?
I think with Brexit, like it kind of,
Yeah, yeah. The UK
yeah,
took them.
but
And they were
yeah,
like,
but like with the UK, like they have the thing. Now, I could be misremembering on this. Like they tell them not to pay the ransomware, right? Like it was
yeah,
last year, I think
yes.
it was. They were
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you'll
hey,
you'll get fined if you
yeah,
pay.
yeah. So like they're probably just sitting there, like, all right, well, we'll go to our backups. You know what I mean? But we know we're not paying, right? So
Right, right. And that's good, right? There's legislation to stop them from having to pay. But that doesn't stop the attacks though. That's the problem. Like people are still gonna hope to hit that jackpot. Like, oh yeah, like Dole is, and like I didn't do the research because I'm not trying to make money off the backs of helpless companies, but someone did the research saying, oh, Dole makes a lot of money. We can attack Dole systems here, we can make some money, and then move out from there. But perhaps they didn't do the research to know that Dole can't pay. Like we can't pay you due to our government says we can't do that. Or perhaps it wasn't that deep. Maybe it was not a ransomware attack. Maybe it was just somebody poking around their systems that caused this shutdown, which that would also be, not great because they're going to lose money as they have to shut down to figure out what's going on, to do their housekeeping, and then try to figure out who is the perpetrator in this situation. What I thought was interesting though, that if it's going to feed into tomorrow's episode, is the continuation of ransomware revenue, taking a plunge. So it says data from blockchain data company Chainalysis showed that ransomware revenue plunged in 2022 as victims are increasingly refusing to pay ransomware demands. Like in this case, I don't think they even could if they wanted to. Ransomware groups received a total of 457 million in 2022 compared to 766 million in 2021. So as you can see, it's going in the right direction, but the attacks are still increasing. So it's like they're getting desperate now. Like they're like, we're Either we're really good at ransomware as a service, and we can push out more of it. We can adapt it quicker. We can break systems and get where we need to get much faster. However, it's not as profitable. So like, who's going to pay these hackers once you stop receiving the money, right? There's no insurance for hackers. Like, oh, I didn't get my revenue. I need my unemployment check for the month. But that'll feed into tomorrow's episode, so I don't want to get too far ahead of us. But
But
thank you,
also
Shannon.
remember,
Oh,
but also remember though. So that little nugget you read off, right? So yeah, they did have it in this article, but y'all need to remember where you heard it first, right? Remember that was on the other side of the firewall. All right,
there it
don't
is. There it is.
forget.
Got to plug it.
There it is.
Yeah, man, it's getting to where we wanted to be, right? Money wise, but now we have to figure out like how do we stop the attackers. But tomorrow's episode might explain how we stop the attackers. So definitely tune in for that one as well. I forgot to mention last episode. Definitely tune into all of our social media. I'll go by our name. You get me up personally. I'm at RY Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, and Twitter. And then, I was gonna plug Levon. He's at Levon Maynard. So I'm rusty, and I'm repeating stuff from the past. So definitely continue to tune in as I get myself together throughout these episodes. But yeah, continue to tune in. Stay safe. Stay secure.